Hey guys, so today I have got a very different styled video from what I normally focus on with DJing and various other technologies, but today I felt it would be appropriate to discuss jailbreaking, the legalities of it, whether you should do it, the benefits and disadvantages of it, what you gain and lose from it obviously, just because of the new evasion jailbreak that has come out for iOS 6, 6.1, for the iPhone 5 all the way back to the 3GS and the iPads as well, of course. So I just thought it'd be a good video to discuss today anyway. So I came across this article on apple.com that says unauthorized modification of the iOS can cause instability, security vulnerabilities, shorten battery life and other issues. Now going through the file it says instability, security, all of that, unreliable voice and data, disruption of services such as visual voicemail, weather, stocks, etc., and inability to apply future software updates. Now, I mean, the majority of this article, I just guess, is discerning people from jailbreaking, mainly just saying stuff that I guess in theory could happen, but is incredibly unlikely. Most of it is dependent on the way you go about jailbreaking, such as not installing crap that you don't need, stuff that's dodgy, etc. I mean, I've already had enough experience of that in the past, and I know generally what is right, what is good and what is bad in terms of jailbreaking. Now anyway, it's perfectly legal in this country as well as the United States. It's already been ruled definitely legal in the United States, so don't worry, you're not going to get sued for doing it or anything. However, what is worth noting is that Apple will probably void your warranty officially anyway, but you can actually always restore it and go into the Apple Store and they won't be able to tell that you've jailbroken it, for example. Now, what do you get from jailbreaking? Mainly you get this app called Cydia. It's created by somebody called Swarrick, who's been around on the jailbreak scene for a while now. Looks something like this. Well, it's loading up anyway, but there we go, we have Cydia there. You've got all of this, basically like the unofficial App Store. You've got everything there, your packages and all of that. But yeah, that is basically Cydia. That's on the iPhone 5 anyway. So that is what you get by jailbreaking. That's what you use to install all of the unofficial packages. It's mainly your gateway into the jailbroken iOS world as such. But yeah, that's what you mainly gain from jailbreaking. Now from jailbreaking, as I said, you've got Cydia, but with this you can install third-party applications, tweaks. You can change the whole UI of the phone to really suit it as you want. I've got at the moment this quite cool lock gesture, so for example I'm unlocked, go into music, and then my phone does that. Quite similar to on Android when you do, because I can show you now, the like old TV going off type thing. That's with Spring to My Eyes, if you're wondering. I'll put a link to all of the jailbroken stuff that I use on my iPhone. Now I did obviously opt to go for a jailbreak because I'm quite fed up of the, to be honest, of the plain iOS interface. Not to say that it's bad, because it's quite minimalist and it doesn't use up a lot of system resources, which cannot be said the same for Android, unfortunately. Well, notoriously in the past, not as bad now. But yeah, anyway, you probably get the point with that. Furthermore, with jailbreaking, you can actually unlock the phone software-wise. I believe you can, at least. Still, with Ultra Snow, I don't think it might not work on the iPhone 5, but I know previously you were able to do that. But you did need to be jailbroken, and if you broke the jailbreak, you broke the unlock. So wouldn't be entirely dependent on it, I guess, but that's just one of the other benefits. So you've got the full customization of the operating system as well. You can put things where you want them. You've got full admin control of it, so you can essentially use it as a big flash stick as well, if you want to plug it into your computer and then use something called SSH to get into it. And especially useful if you've got like a 32 one, like me. You can put a lot of stuff on there, and it's useful, I guess, if you don't have a flash stick handy and you want to transfer files somewhere. And now moving on to the disadvantages of jailbreaking. First things first, Apple are probably not going to be very happy that you have jailbroken your phone, so obviously you are going against their terms and conditions of, well, using the phone. Now that isn't a massive thing, I guess, because you can always restore the device, hopefully if it is restorable, before you give it into Apple, and they won't be able to detect that you have jailbroken the phone. However, officially you are voiding your warranty by jailbreaking, but as I said, it's not a massive deal in my opinion anyway, because you can easily just go and restore that so it's back on there, the stock OS, and it will work and they can't detect you've done it. Now moving on as well, it does contain a few bugs and glitches. You can't expect, I guess, a 100% stable system. Obviously it's not going to be as stable as the stock system, because you're going to be installing all sorts of tweaks and that on Cydia. And I mean, it's up to you what you install, but generally If it looks dodgy, don't install it, whereas most of the stuff on there is perfectly fine because the main repos on there by default do have some sort of filtering, although not as good as Apple's. So again, just really be careful what you install and don't really install unnecessary stuff. Incompatibilities can cause some issues as well, but bear in mind, always back up your phone before you jailbreak, so in case worst comes to it, you can just restore back and get your backup as your phone how you had it before you jailbroken. And you can still back up when you're jailbroken, and it won't affect the backup to a non-jailbroken device, so you don't need to worry about that either. Also, updates as well. Apple do periodically issue over-the-air OTA updates, or through iTunes, whatever way you download them. Do bear in mind that they'll probably break the jailbreak on the device. 6.1 at the latest is fine for the time being, but in time of this video they've just put out a beta of 6.1.1. Not entirely sure if that's broken it or that, but keep an eye out on Twitter. Normally the guys who have made the jailbreak will say whether it's safe or not, but yeah, do check that before you update. Any over-the-air updates will probably break the jailbreak, so you'll probably have to redo it yourself, but that's not always the end of the world for the benefits, I guess, of having a jailbreak. You may have heard of some security issues with jailbreaking. Again, that's mainly just attributed to installing dodgy stuff, so as I said, just be careful what you install and you should probably be fine. But mainly the thing that you probably should be the most concerned about is bricking. Now this isn't entirely likely, it's incredibly unlikely actually, but there is a very, very tiny chance that you can completely brick your phone beyond repair, although in my opinion I nearly did it with my 3GS. However, I was able to unbrick it fairly easily by doing a direct firmware restore, DFU restore, you might have heard that as, and that fixed the problem. So there are ways of getting around it, but if you have bricked your phone, you're basically shot out of luck because you can't really fix that. But because bricking is completely killing the phone, and not physically obviously, but it won't work without any hardware hardware fixing. So obviously Apple aren't going to repair that because they probably can tell that you jailbroken it at that stage because you can't restore the firmware because it's bricked. But very, very tiny chance, but just be aware of that. I mean, it's incredibly unlikely. I've never come across it, I've come near to it, but that was just because I was mucking about. Generally, you'll probably be fine because it's incredibly unlikely that it will happen, and I would say really don't let that dissuade you from jailbreaking because unless you've really mucked about with it, you'll probably be fine. And now finally, just recapping the legalities of jailbreaking. In the States, in July 2010, they ruled that reverse engineering is a fair use when done for the purposes of fostering interoperability with independently created software. So that's, I mean, the official legal jargon for basically, yes, you can jailbreak their phone, and no, Apple cannot take legal action against you. And that's pretty much the same for me where I am in the United Kingdom, but anyway, that should be fine. And to wrap it all up here, it's generally up to you whether you want to jailbreak your phone. I personally have done it. I've done it to my iPhone so far. I haven't given it a try on my iPad as of yet. But just bear in mind, you may experience some performance fluctuations, some battery life decrease, but that's mainly down to what you install. Don't put loads of crap on there. You can change the UI in that without affecting a lot of performance, but don't just go adding loads and loads and loads of stuff, because that probably will slow down your phone, and there may be a chance that you run across the odd bit of malware on there, because the Cydia store is not the App Store, and there is some nasty stuff on there if you're not careful, so I guess just be sensible with what you download, but generally you'll be fine. But obviously at the end of the day it's up to you whether you want to jailbreak or not. If you're not happy with what you've got on your phone and you want something slightly different, then you can do that, I guess. But if you're quite content with the way the operating system is at the moment, or you don't want to mess about with having to install it or something like that, then the stock operating system is probably fine for you. But anyway, I hope this has sort of helped if you were on the brink of jailbreaking or not. I guess I can understand the conclusion may not have helped a massive amount, but hopefully benefits and disadvantages will help you pick out whether it's suited to you or not. But anyway, yes, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.